Yo 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 yo.
Jess Hilarious.
Good morning.
It's Wednesday. Happy New Year's. Now today's show is all about self-help. Charlamagne, we got some special guests joining us today.
You always say guest is special. Who are these people?
Wallo, he's joining us today.
Very special. That's my guy.
Shetty.
Oh man, very very special. Now you see, you really talking about some special people.
And Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Very special individuals. All three of those people help people in various ways. What I really love about all three of those individuals is their commitment to making sure that our people are emotionally and mentally healthy.
That's right. And we're going to be talking to those three individuals next, all throughout the show, so don't go anywhere. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake it up. This is your time to get it off your chest.
Keep calling.
800-585-1051. We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
Hello, who's this?
Hi, this is Tamika from Westchester.
Hey, Tamika. Get it off your chest, mama.
Okay, good morning, DJ and the Charlamagne. I'm a fan.
Good morning.
I just wanted to get off my chest the fact that I did nothing, and now I'm broken up with the boyfriend that I've been with for 3 years because his side girlfriend thinks that I'm her stalker.
Wait a minute.
His side girlfriend thinks
you
that
her
you're his stalker?
Mm-hmm.
All right, explain this to me a little bit more now.
Okay.
Okay.
So I've been with this boy for like almost 3 years.
Okay.
And when I came out of my relationship, he came out of his relationship for a long time. And he still wanted to explore and all that, and we didn't know what we was. So he told me, like, oh, I'm talking to this one, I'm talking to that one, talking to that one. So it's like, okay, whatever. But time had passed, and he had started moving his stuff into my apartment, and we started establishing things. I work for the city. I put him on my insurance. We started establishing and making plans. I didn't realize how strong of a connection he was making with other girls. But then he comes to me one day and tells me that the other girl...
Okay, I've heard enough. So you're not his only girl?
No.
I'm not his only girl, no.
Okay, so what are you calling here to ask us?
Well,
now?
she's upset because she put him on insurance. She thought it was serious.
This is just getting off my chest. I wasn't asking anything.
Oh, you just mad at yourself for being stupid?
Hey.
Yes.
How old are you?
34.
34 years old. How many girls does this man got?
Who knows?
But you can understand it, though.
How many yeast infections have you had since
come
y'all been
on.
dating? I know your pH balance is always off.
Stop it. Come on.
No, it's not. It's not.
Oh, okay.
I understand, though, because you put him on insurance. He moved in. You thought it was more serious than it was, and he was still playing the field.
Well, see, I want to tell you that you know you can do better.
That's not the part that I'm mad at. The part that I'm mad at is that I have nothing to do with his other relationships, and I'm being accused of being a random girl stalker.
Why would you
care? I don't even know this girl.
Why would you even care? You shouldn't even speak to
Why
him
would I
anyway.
even care? This is what I'm saying. You ever been accused of something you absolutely did not do?
Yes.
And just super f***ing frustrated, but then also super relieved because it's like, you never trust me in the beginning. But it's just super f***ing frustrating
stop cursing.
I really didn't do it.
I understand you're upset, but stop cursing. But understand that the truth don't need no defense. It only needs witnesses. So as long as you know the truth, that's the most important thing. But the truth is, you just one of this man's hoes. Now, you need to ask yourself, do you just want to be one of this man's hoes, or do you want to be more to somebody? Because if you want to be more to somebody, then you need to go find that somebody, because it's not going to be with him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you went through that, mama. But take him off the insurance
went through it?
ASAP.
She's still going through it.
No, take him off the insurance ASAP.
She ain't going to do nothing.
Is he still on the insurance?
Yeah.
Who that talking to you in the background?
Nobody. That's y'all on the radio.
Oh, yeah, man. You just another one of his hoes, man. And I think that you deserve better than that.
That's
but,
right.
he did keep it 100 with you from the beginning. It's not like he lied to you.
Yeah, he didn't lie, and y'all didn't have a conversation. You just assumed because he moved in, but that was not a great assumption, obviously.
Thanks.
And I know it's hard. 3-4 years of raw sex.
3.
You know what I'm saying? Him blowing in your bunkie. I know it got you a little open, man, but you deserve better.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, mama.
Have a great day.
Have a good day.
Damn, man. She should take him off insurance right now.
She not.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Ray.
Yo, Charlamagne, Envy, what up? Are we live?
This is your time to get it off your chest.
I got an indoor pool, an outdoor pool.
We want to hear from you on The Breakfast Club.
We can get on the phone right now. He'll tell you what it is.
We live?
Hello, who's this?
Hey guys, it's Sandra, the Haitian therapist.
Hey, Sakpa say, I ain't heard from you in forever, Sandra. Where you been at?
I know, working, it's busy season for depression and anxiety.
Yes, it is. Seasonal depression is a real thing around this time of year.
So I listened to the Dr. Cheyenne Bryant interview, and I just wanted to make clear that she is not a licensed therapist. Some of the things she was saying was pretty concerning, especially with saying people can't change. That's the foundation of our whole, thing, is that you can change, and that it would be completely unethical to see a wife and a husband separately and then together for couples counseling. That is not something that counselors can do.
I think people took it out of context when she said you can't change, though. She was just saying that you got to be willing to shift something in you first before you make a permanent change.
No, I didn't take that.
I don't know.
I didn't take that.
Because even you questioned it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she said that after you questioned it. She
said people
made it
pivot.
clear.
They don't change. She said people pivot. That they don't change.
No, she said the pivot starts to change.
That is not true.
No, she said the
that
pivot.
That is like the basis of
the
our
pivot starts
whole
to change.
therapy, is that you can change.
Well, yeah,
and
she said
so
the pivot
Dr.
starts to
Elliot
change.
Connie, he is like my number one. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have gone into private practice, because solution-focused brief therapy is my favorite.
It's the best
modality. Yes, he is.
It is absolutely the best. Everybody should pick up Elliot Connie's book, Change Your Questions, Change Your Future. It's out right now.
And thank you for calling.
Yes, because you can change. No problem.
All right.
and check out the Family Therapist podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio podcast network, hosted by Elliot Connie.
Hello, who's this?
Hey, good morning. This is James calling from North Carolina.
James from the Carolinas. What up? Get it off your chest. What part?
I'm in Lumberton.
Lumberton. All right, get it off your chest, brother.
I wanted to ask y'all, when y'all interviewed Jaleel White, did he happen to mention what it was like to work with Michael Boogaloo Shrimp Chambers?
Who the hell is that? Michael who?
Y'all don't remember him, man? That's Turbo from Break-In and Break-In 2.
Oh, Break-In was my movie.
We didn't ask him about Boogaloo.
Nah. I ain't know where he worked with him. He was in a movie?
Nah, he was in one of the episodes on Family Matters. He played as Urkelbot.
I don't remember that.
We didn't ask him about that one, brother.
Salute to Turbo, though. You threw me off when you said Michael
Boogaloo, yeah.
Yeah, Boogaloo.
Yeah.
We didn't ask him about that one, brother.
Turbo.
Yeah, man. I was just wondering.
All right, brother.
That's crazy. I never knew Turbo's real name until you said it. And I thought Boogaloo was the light-skinned one with the hat that wore the hat.
Mm-hmm. And the nose ring. Yeah, I ain't know that was Turbo.
Get it off your chest. 800-585-1051. If you need to vent, hit us up now. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa is here as well. We got a special guest in the building. We have Dr. Cheyenne Bryant.
Hey,
welcome.
Good morning.
How are you?
Club.
So you are one of the people in the mental health space who's really using social media right, right? Like, because you've used it to, elevate your platform and just elevate the conversation around mental health. So I applaud you on that.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I always say I didn't get into this field to become a celebrity, but God has His own plans, right? So I literally, in my master's and my doctorate program, I remember my professor saying, everyone who's going to get licensed, raise your hand. I didn't raise my hand. Everybody else did. And he's like, Doc, you going, Cheyenne at that time, you going through all this and not get licensed? I'm like, no, because I'm going to be on a platform where I'm able to change lives. Didn't think that it ended up being a platform where to this magnitude one, and then to the place where literally I didn't want it. The whole celebrity status and lifestyle. And not that I'm saying I don't want it now and I don't like it. It's just, this is not where I expected it to go. But again, if God needs to use a celebrityness, whether the celebrity status brings me the naysayers or the sayers, whatever it brings, as long as they can get a tip or two that gives them a better quality of life and helps them become better mentally, then run the play. I'm cool with it.
Now, you talked about your calling. So when it comes to your calling, what is your calling? What do you specialize in? Is it relationships? Is it dealing with people's problems? Is it just listening? What is your specialty when it comes to it? And what's your calling?
I love that. So I started off as a marriage, family, and child therapist. And I tell God, I said, listen, I'm a little girl from the hood. You know what I come from. Don't put me in the hood and don't put me with court order DCF kids. Not that I had a problem with them. I didn't want to be triggered dealing with them. And I didn't want to have to deal with what I came from. I wasn't in the system, but I came from that type of adversity. And the first place God put me was off of Howdale and Slauson. I don't know if y'all familiar with LA, but a block away from Slauson Swap Meet in the hood. And every one of my clients were court order, DCFS. Department of Family and Child Services. We have moms in there who were pregnant, still hitting the pipe, asking me, can I sign off on the documents so they can get their kids back? Because I was predicated on their reunification with their kids. And so started off as doing that. When I got my doctorate, I transitioned to a psychology expert, life coach. My specialty then was marriage, family, and child therapy. So that is my foundation. So now that I am a psychology expert, life coach, I can't get rid of that because that's my foundation. I do psychodynamic CBT, but I couple it, which is my hybrid approach, with coaching. So it's therapy and coaching, which is hybrid. And I say this with all humility. That's why I'm so effective. Because therapy is tell me more. Let me hear about your trauma, your daddy issues, your mom issues. Why are you who you are? And then once you're finished dealing with that and you process that, okay, DJ Envy, where the hell you going from there?
I do have one other question when it comes to the therapy aspect. I'm sure the world has been watching the Mendes brothers, right? And I had a question, right? Yeah. So the Mendes brothers, if you don't know, they confessed their crime to the therapist. And they believed that the therapist could not tell police officers because it was, I guess, patient-client privilege. But they did. So does that mean anything that I tell a therapist or that anybody tells a therapist can possibly be used against them in the court of law?
100%. So a therapist is only under confidential oath unless you are threatening to kill yourself and someone else, and it can't just be a threat. It has to be you actually have like a action plan to do so, right? You can't just come to me and say, hey doc, look, I want to kill myself. I will help you process through that and hopefully talk you off the ledge. But if you say I got a plan at 9 p.m., I'm leaving the house, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z to my wife, then I have a duty to report. If I'm subpoenaed to court, I have to speak on that.
Can you reach out to the court and say, subpoena me? I need to be subpoenaed.
I personally would never do that just because I believe in following the oath of, and maybe I just love and respect my clients too much. But if you came to me and said something, I'm just not. And I know this is smaller than murder, but I've had married couples who come separately and together. And the husband is just lighting it up in his individual sessions, like I'm cheating, I'm intimate with this person and that person, his family members, it's this, and I'm having to just make sure I process my countertransference because I'm sitting there like, damn, and I have her in 1 hour. In 1 hour.
God.
Now, of course, if it was like my girlfriend, I'd be like,
But you would take your girlfriend's though, right? Because
my best friend couldn't be. That's a compliment. Yeah, she could never come to me as a psychology expert or any of that. But I'd be ripping into him.
Talk to me from the human perspective, because you still a real.
I am.
So when you hear stuff like that, when you hear the guy come in 1 hour and he's doing X, Y, and Z, then the woman comes in the next hour, what is going through your mind about the dude?
See, in my mind, honestly, what I try to do, and some of my clients have followed this guidance. I have one client now. He's married, and the wife is attempting to divorce him, and she's divorcing him because he cheated, but she doesn't have any hard facts on him. So I've actually been able to process with him whether you're going to be with this woman or not. If you want to be with her or you want to be able to leave and do better, at some point you got to be able to be real with yourself and real with her, and you got to be transparent. When do you plan on doing that? So he just literally this week or last week, because this week he told me, Doc, I sat with her and I told her that it's been a few times that I did cheat. And I said, how does she respond? She said, now we can have a conversation because now you're keeping it real. And when I had her in session, I said, listen, Triggered, right?
Yeah.
But I told her, I said, look, you have two options. I said, either if you're willing to learn to love a dog, we can start that process because, or we can start the process of you leaving and starting over. And she goes, what do you mean by a dog? She said, but we've been together for 10 years. He's never cheated the first time. I said, no, baby. I said, he's been quiet for 10 years. He decided to bark on year number 10.
Jesus.
So you don't think that he could change in that marriage and not cheat anymore?
First of all, nobody changes, including me. We shift, and that changes our life. And when I say we shift out of the things and behaviors that don't serve us after we learn. They're not working.
Gotcha.
And then we have to learn to manage those.
Gotcha.
So I am very firecrackery. When I was younger, I was very temperamental. I was very, who the you talking to real quick. I just, because of my trauma, because of things, I just had a very protective, by all means necessary. I'm the oldest of 7, so I was, I light this place up. Is that still in me after all of my healing? Hell yeah. Do I manage it? Absolutely. Managing it just means that I'm high function. I'm able to regulate my emotions, identify my emotions, don't get into my feelings because emotions are healthy. Feelings cause problems.
Right.
And I can just say, okay, identify that I'm angry. I'm frustrated. So now let me choose my response. Before I was low functioning. Once I felt it, I was triggered. And everybody here was going to know. And it was going to be a problem. So does that still come up? Yeah. But do I have self-talk that says, we're not doing that?
So you would never date a man that cheated before because you feel like he will always be a cheater? Is that what you're saying?
I think that's also circumstantial. So I do believe that different relationships bring out different things in us. I was also an extreme alpha in my first engagement. I had 2 engagements, called off 2 weddings. My first relationship that I was engaged to, I was extreme alpha. So even if he tried to be alpha, I left no space. It was like, hell no, by all means necessary, because I said so and you can walk. Like, I'm chasing my career. I know my value. I'm not fatherless. I got a daddy. He spoils me. Good day.
So even in that, do you feel like that he wasn't man enough for you? Or like, what was that? Do you think that's your fault? Do you look back and be like, I was trying to be the man. Not trying to be the man, but I actually, I gave him, because you just said you gave no room for him to do it. So do you regret that part of it?
I think that's a duality. I think he chose a woman who was alpha because it fed something in him that was beta.
Yeah.
I chose a man who was beta because my alpha needed to be inflamed. But my second engagement, he was alpha. That's why I say it's circumstantial. But not only was he alpha, I was ready. I had these submissive feels in me already. So by the time we got in a relationship, I was a hybrid by then. I was alpha submissive. So I was cooking, he was daddy, I was soft, I was in my feminine. And the blessing of that is I got to experience both. And I learned that I fell more in love with myself in my softness than he probably did.
Yeah.
That thing.
All right, we have more with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant when we come back, so don't move. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. Of course, she has her show Truth Talks on Fox Soul, Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. She's a psychology expert, a life coach. Jess.
So the interview with Cam, and also I saw that you sat down with Nick. Did they reach out to you, or did you reach out to them?
So Nick reached out to me.
Okay.
And said, Doc, what's up? Like, I want to work through some things. But I want to work through it on camera. And I said, okay, no problem, but I'm going to penetrate. So we're not doing this on camera.
Penetrate.
These crazy words.
The things that trigger you is crazy. So when you
trigger him.
So he liked penetration.
Right, it's funny because Nick always goes, Doc, do you have to use that word? I'm like, yeah, I am. I'm penetrating you at the space that obviously is broken.
Yeah.
And that's dysfunctional and toxic.
So I'm sorry, we childish. I'm sorry.
You need to grow up too.
Wait, see, men just don't change.
No, like you to your point. They give me a 12-year-old girl right now.
The little boy in them is definitely present. Definitely present.
So when he says, all right, I need to work through some things, you're like, okay, on camera. Does that then in your mind say, is this for real, or do you want to appeal to a certain market, to a certain audience?
I love that.
You know what I'm saying?
Great observation.
Yeah.
I didn't look at it like that because I look at it like I have a job to do. And so my intent was to use Nick's situation and shift a whole culture of black men. Same with Cam, and it happened. There were a lot of naysayers, but a lot of black men were actually in there creating the viralness and saying, listen, Doc is right. We need to create more husbands and less baby daddies. Cam was resistant, but Cam had to answer a lot of questions in his household. Cam had a lot of stuff. He had a lot of different conversations he had to have with that woman.
Yeah, I saw Cam say. Cam said that it affected his relationship with his first 2 baby moms and his current situation.
Yeah.
So you feel any remorse for that? Or?
No.
Yeah,
because I'm here to interrupt that pattern. No.
Yeah.
Like, should have been interrupted a long time ago.
Yeah.
Cam, and you come from, and not that this breeds good decision-making people, but Cam comes from, he's a pastor's child. He comes from 2 parents that are still married, and they're pastors, very much involved with the church. That goes to show you, like the Bible said, it was good for me that I was afflicted, because you got people who come from brokenness. This is why I said these kids are not doomed, who make different decisions, because it's not about a lot of times it's not where you go and they get you where you going, it's where you trying to get the hell away from.
Right? Yeah.
And a lot of times parents, like I was telling Ray J this. Ray J's my client as well.
Jesus.
And leave my boy alone, leave Ray.
Yeah.
I was telling Ray, I said, Ray, I love your parents. They showed you everything to do right. They didn't show you what not to do. And see, for me, I had a circumstance, an environment that showed me everything not to do.
Right.
So sometimes knowing what not to do saves you from doing the wrong.
I was just going to ask, how do you deal with your other clients if you have Ray J?
Yeah, who do you talk to after you talk to Ray J? Do you have a therapist? I hope you have.
I do. Oh, yeah. I definitely do. I have that. I have wise counsel. I have a nice group, a nice, really healthy ecosystem.
Okay.
Of people who are counselors and coaches and who are not.
Right.
What do you say to people that say, how do you give advice on marriages or marriage couples when you're not married? What do you say to those people?
I love that. I say that I don't want to hear you've been together 15 years but miserable 13. I'd rather take advice from a single woman or man who's happy, thriving, successful, meaning in their joy, not just in their monetary value, than someone who is miserable in their marriage with a side dude and a side chick, and you want to give me the advice that you give yourself, that you use in your failed marriage. I'll pass.
Bitter.
I'll pass. I'll pass. And what happens is married people like to shun on single folks. The Bible also says single people are happy people.
Look that up.
Look that up. It says marriage takes discipline. No, it says marriage takes discipline. And
because a lot of times they say that you reach out to older couples that's been married longer because they'll tell you how to deal with the marriage than people. Like some people say, don't hang out with your single friends. You talk to married couples that's been in that situation longer.
And you know why that's true? Mm-hmm. Because folks who've been married 10, 15, 20 years, they've been through the trenches.
Yeah.
So they're not going to teach you how to be happy. We got that, single sis. We got that. Mm-hmm. I've had that all my life. They're going to teach you how to get through the times when you ain't happy. Y'all married, you know that. Let's not play this game. You married, you know that.
You think people get married too early?
I think people choose the wrong people. I think people choose their fairy tale ideology. They're not choosing the person. See, people are choosing marriage and not a husband. They're choosing marriage and not a wife. And so when you're choosing marriage, you get the title, you get the looks of it, but you're not getting a person. So you're a beautiful house who's homeless.
They like the idea of the
idea. And those are people who are fatherless, sometimes motherless, who just need something to be a part of. I just need this companionship. I want the title. I don't feel valued. I don't feel validated. So because we're married, I got somebody who's checking for me. I got somebody who can get me through the day. But you got to be able to check. Even in marriage, I was engaged for 10 years, because I kept calling it off. And he was like, you keep getting these degrees. You keep saying, wait for the next degree or we get married. And by the time I went and got my doctorate, he's like, baby, you done got 4 degrees.
I ain't waiting no more.
Engaged for 10 years.
I kept putting it off because I knew that wasn't my person.
I was going to say,
but
I left your ass.
You said you knew he wasn't my person.
That's important.
And I end up leaving him. Unfortunate for him.
So you strung him along for 10 years?
10 years?
And she said he was a great guy.
Great guy. He was a great guy. He just wasn't my guy, right? And so
for 10 years, he thought he was the guy.
So you strung him along for 10 years? Why you ain't let him go be great with somebody else that would appreciate him and love him?
So I'm not saying for 10 years I knew he wasn't the one. When we got about year number 5 or 6 and I seen that his work ethic and his ability to provide at the level that I wanted our family to be at, I knew that he wasn't my guy. And when I say provide, I'm not talking about like he was making 6 figures and I was like, no, make millions. I'm saying his thing was, baby, I'm cool with me, you, a dog in a 1-bedroom apartment. And just no work ethic at all. So for the first 6 years, I thought, well, I'm out here getting it. I have a legal company. I own property. I'm only 22. I'm getting all these college degrees. How can he not be inspired by me? See, that's that age-appropriate young woman. He got potential. Let me stay. That's why people should take their time. But when I seen you number 7 and 8, this guy was the same guy who was, I hate talking because he's such a good guy. I always protect him when I talk about him. But where he was lazy and had no work ethic, I had to pivot.
Did he acquire more in the future?
No, he's still in the same place. Damn. So I made the right decision.
All right, we have more with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. When we come back, don't move. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, psychology expert, life coach. She has her show Truth Talks on Fox Soul. Now, I want to ask you about some internet rumors that I've seen. Corey Holcomb said some things about you, about not having your degree and where you started off as I guess working in a strip club. Is any of that stuff true?
You said you're not a real doctor.
You said, yeah, you're not a real doctor.
No, so I have 4 degrees. 3 are in psychology, 1's in Pan-African Studies. My doctorate degree is in counseling psychology. My master's is in marriage, family, child therapy. All degrees are in psychology. Where this Corey Holcomb thing comes from is I was on a show 10 years ago when I think it was before I even had my doctorate degree. And Corey is used to being able to be very disrespectful to women and do his thing.
You was on the show with him or just...
he was a guest on the show. I was co-hosting.
Okay.
He was a guest. And I drilled his ass, to be honest. It's on YouTube. People could, look at it. And I cut into him and I said, you seem like you are inferior to white men. And you seem like you got daddy issues. And you seem like you got mommy issues. You got kids that don't even talk to you or respect you. They don't like you. It tells a lot about your character. Now, this was 10 years ago. Okay, and obviously he's still in his feminine because he's still holding a grudge over it. You know, this is like interviews are interviews. Are you saying you do them and you move on to the next? And so was very upset, and I feel like in that space he was. Y'all could watch it. He was dumbfounded. Like usually he comes back with the FUB or he has something to say.
Corey is just a broken person. Period. And I do feel like you'll need help. He needs help.
Corey needs off camera. If Corey came to me and said, "Doc, let's do off camera sessions," 100%. 100%. If he wants to do it on camera because it's just going to be a rhetoric, I'm not doing that. To help his career, I will help him as a man, but I'm not here to help him in his career. That's his job. I'm not here to carry a man that ain't mine or float a man that ain't mine, but to help you with your mental health or help you as a person. He's an alcoholic. He drinks a lot. He's overcompensating in those areas. Those are places he needs help with. Did you guys see what he looked like on Cam Newton interview? I'm not talking about looks meaning attractiveness. Yeah. Do you see how unwell, hygienically clean he looks?
God damn. All right, Dr. Bryant. Lord have
let
mercy.
me say why. No, this ties into mental health. That man's hygiene was on negative 200. What I'm saying is he needs deeper help than me coming on 5150 to bring him a bigger audience. He can still do 5150, but he needs to be able to 5150 himself and get the help that he needs.
Lord have mercy.
That's right.
I saw you said too that you comment on the fact that Kamala didn't come out that first night when she didn't win. Speak to that and speak to the comment because people were upset about.
Another unpopular opinion. I don't care. She proved why the people, men and women, who are not ready for a woman president are not ready for a woman president because society and some men, not all, deem women as emotionally unstable and unable to regulate our emotions. Sis, when you knew you weren't winning or weren't in the lead, and these kids, these babies, these adults were at a historical black university that you went to, Howard, waiting hours for you. They had volunteered, I'm sure, they had contributed, and they probably voted for you and supported you this entire time. You couldn't come out and address the people who supported you. That's proven to the people who don't believe women could lead at that level that a woman can't regulate her emotions enough to come out and take an L. I don't care if she would have came out in tears. Listen, I'm sorry we lost, whatever that looks like.
I'll give a little pushback on that because Donald Trump never gave a concession speech. Nor would he even admit that he lost.
But we're talking about Trump who runs on being that type of person. Anyway. So his people never expected that. Just like when someone says, well, Trump's a racist. He's running on that. Trump is talking about getting rid of DEI. He has said that
I get what you're saying. No, I get what you're saying.
But Kamala came out and showed us all this love and support. But when you took the L, not only did you not come out, you sent a man to come out and address these people.
Cedric Richmond.
He was fine too. You didn't even send another woman or black woman. This was a woman's moment. And in my opinion, that all that did was tell the folks who said women can't lead. See, she sent a man out to do it. And then came out the next day. That's not leadership to me. Leadership is commitment. And commitment is doing what you said you would do regardless of how you feel. I don't care how you felt. Kamala, come out and address us. Those kids left what they had down. They weren't sad just because she lost. They were sad because they were looking for who was still their leader, whether she lost or not, to come out and address those kids.
I was going to ask, when's the last time you apologized or last time you were wrong about something? Do you remember?
Good question, Envy.
It probably
was 1984.
It probably was to my best friend Lola and my assistant. We work so closely together. We're always together. Because I'm so comfortable with her, she gets all of my moving parts, to be honest with you.
What about this to a man that you're dating?
When he ain't never get an apology.
That happened. I asked you that though because you are very strong in opinion and stuff like that, and I think men think that women that are structured like you don't know how to be accountable and don't know how to apologize.
I'm very accountable. I do apologize. That's why I said I want a man who will say with respect. I mean, he ain't about to just dominate, like shut your ass up. He can be disrespectful, but I want a man who's like, hold on, you out of pocket right now. We don't do that. Yeah, this is not what we do. And I like you strong, but this is not strong. This is disrespectful, baby. But I want him to be able to know how to say it. And then I will be like, even if it's not in that moment, I can process and be like, you know what, you're right. And I will apologize. I will come to myself because I have the discipline of that self-talk of saying stop. Or I will say, listen, you've already apologized. You've done everything you could right now. It's not a you problem. I'm still trying to get out of my ego. So just give me 30 minutes because, baby, you've apologized. Like, you've done your job. And then I come around in 20, 30 minutes and I'm like, okay, I'm back. and I'm sorry too.
That's awareness. That's accountability.
I'm sorry too. And the thing is, when you really want peace, and that's the thing about being single for so long, though. You find
you figure it out.
You find a peace and a joy that when you do get in a relationship,
it gotta make sense.
And when you do get in a relationship, though, you're really saying, let's deaden this argument.
That's real.
Have you ever got afraid that you're going to get so used to that peace that you're not going to want to do nothing? Because I tell myself that all the time. Like, I'm in such a good state, I don't want nothing to bother me. But people come with flaws.
Shut up, Charlamagne.
He's a hater.
Well,
he's a hater.
Well, no, because I have been serial dating for the 6 years I've been single. So when I say single, it means I haven't been committed.
Like committed,
but have I had like 3 months, 6 months relationships that went that long season and were exclusive and were committed in that season?
Yeah.
Because I'm very into exclusivity. I don't like casual sex, and so I will accidentally go a year and a half celibate because I don't like the casualty of sex. Mm-hmm. And when I decide to, I would choose that one person to be around for the long term.
Well, when does that decision happen for you?
Now
then?
I'm in my choosing stage.
So it's gonna happen now, like soon.
I'm in my choosing stage, but I'm not desperate. So it's not like I'm not choosing just a high valued man. I would even take a man who's a little less value, meaning a little less income money, but I just love this man. He's my person, right? So yeah. I mean, he can. Yeah. So I would rather have a regular man who isn't in the limelight, who we both don't have to straddle this this whole industry thing. And he can go run a business or go be a corporate guy. He can come to my shows and we can go home and have intellectual pillow talk. I can go home and put my hair in a bird's nest and walk around with sweats and a tank top and no bra. You don't know what a bird's nest is?
No, I definitely know what it is. Lauren do too.
You know what? So you got the show Truth Talks.
I do.
And
Truth Talks. Yes,
talk to
yes,
us
yes.
about that before we get out of here.
Oh my God. So Truth Talks is my new talk show. It's on Fox. It's Monday through Friday at 8 p.m.
Congratulations.
Why would somebody give you a talk show? You good at talking to something?
No. Not at all. It's funny. Sometimes the producers are like, Doc, give the other co-host time to talk. I'm like, really? I'm like, I gotta do that?
Yeah.
But it's cool because we're pretty much, we're a global news. We're a CNN that gives you the black voice, the black perspective, and we're bringing truth to everything news with culture twist to it. So we're every night, 8 p.m. prime time.
Love that.
Yeah.
How do they follow you, Dr. Cheyenne?
Yeah.
Cheyenne.
Follow me on _ Dr. Bryant on Instagram, social media, or you can go to drbryant.co, and that's drbryant.co, not .com. And then I'm on my speaking tour. Yeah.
That's Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, we appreciate you for joining us.
Thank you, Dr. Bryant. Thoroughly enjoyed the conversation.
Thank you so much. Thank y'all for having me.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Thank you.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Jess is on maternity leave, so Lauren's filling in. And we got a special guest in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
It's going down.
Wallo!
Listen, man, welcome to the Breakfast Club this morning, presented to you by $1 Million Worth of Game. Listen, man, we done bought the company, man. It's good, man. It's going down, man. We doing it big now, man. Got my brother right here.
I'm so proud of you, Wallo,
Listen, man. Listen, I want to give you, before I even start, I got to give you your flowers because you've been, man, me and you done had several phone calls. We had 1,000 phone calls. A couple years ago, you hit me up. You was like, Wallo, you need a book. This was years ago. And you was talking about how you and Kev was talking about, you and Kevin Hart was talking about, man, Wallo would be crazy on an audio book, which I did my own audio book. Shout out to, Ayana Van Zant also, who did the audio. She did the forward for me. Shout out to 13A, my publisher, man, for,
Charles Suit.
Yes, for making it happen. Simon & Schuster. But we here now. You told me. You keep telling me about the book. The book changed your life.
That's right. And you got too much of a story, man.
The book. That's all you kept saying. And now we here, man. On with good intentions. It's game changer.
The book title is perfect for you because there's not too many people on this planet who come with good intentions like Wallo does.
Appreciate that, man.
When did you develop that mentality?
I don't know, man. I was on the street corners. I had good intentions on the street corners. I just wanted to steal the American dream, man. I said, man, this is too slow. The only people that got respect in my neighborhood was the successful criminals. So even though I was a good person growing up, my grandma raised me well, my mom, I was like, I got to figure this out. So I said, the only people they respect out here is the people that's winning by any means. And then even in America, I was like, damn, hold up, America? They only respect the Scarface. They only respect the Godfather. They don't respect nobody else. Yeah. I got to go get some money. So even though my heart was good, I had to go figure it out. And that led me to prison most of my life. But even in there.
You was in prison 13 years, right?
20?
No, 20. I did 20 penitentiary, 5 years in and out of the juvenile system. And even in there, I remember, old heads saying, man, all I did was laugh in jail and just do what I needed to do. educate myself because I realized that, and to the point where somebody said I was one of the nicest dudes in prison because I knew why I was there. I did mine. I was accountable for my bull. So, and that helped me change and develop into what I become today. I'm just happy to be here. And I try my best to share all the knowledge that I got, as you know, with our people to show, like, listen, we bigger than what y'all think we are. Because I always say this, and it's crazy to me, it's like, back in the day, we didn't have nothing, but we had everything because we had each other. And that was important. And it's like, it seemed like now we find so many reasons not to deal with each other. And it's like, God damn, who you working for?
Word. That's right.
Like, you go on social media, it's like who you working for. But I had to realize something. A lot of us don't want to look in that mirror and deal with it. I don't hate envy because of his money, his cars, his family, his marriage. I hate envy because envy getting love for doing something that I always wanted to do, but I ain't have enough heart to go out here and do it.
What, dye your beard?
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about in general.
Okay.
Yeah, he do got that Beijing.
He do.
But I'm just saying, like, shout out to Beijing, give him a deal.
It's not Beijing.
But like this and third.
Just for men. But
oh, damn, okay. You better be paying you the way you put that out there. Promo. But what I'm saying is, like, that's how our culture became. It became like this, and social media made it like a lot of people got to look in the mirror and say, damn, I didn't materialize my dreams.
Word up.
And that's the hardest thing to do is, so it's more easy to say, Charlamagne the sucker, envy this, Laura this, just this. It's much more easy to say than to say, let me get off my ass and go ahead and do something with my life. So, but it's just sad out here when you see it now, and it's just like, I don't know, man. And all we ever had was each other. That's the only way we ever made it in life.
You said in the book, you said, it's actually in the chapter Armed with Good Intentions. Yeah. You said you screamed out one day and you made it a daily reminder that nobody will save you.
Nobody. Especially when I was in prison, I'm like, we complaining and we doing, I'm like, yo, bro, we inside these white folks' spot. Ain't nobody coming. Like, if this go off, anything go, we gonna be locked in these cells. Ain't nobody coming. But that's the same thing in the ghetto. Ain't nobody never come and save nobody. Right. Who saves who?
True.
What was the change for you? Because you said you were in and out. What was the change? You said, yo, I gotta get this right and I gotta change myself.
Like, to be realistic, man, I got tired of being in jail with a bunch of you know what I'm saying? I wanted to take a butt naked shower. You know what I mean? I couldn't do that. I wanted to sleep naked in the bed. I couldn't do that because I got to sell him. I don't know if he might wake up in the middle of the night and be like, yo, man, I need parts of that. Like, what we doing? Yeah, I'll be straight up. He might wake up in the middle of the night and be like, hey, my man, let's figure something out. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm just being real. Because, listen, you know what's crazy? I think one of the reasons I made it through jail so smoothly because I was always a comedian on the low. You know what I'm saying? I was always funny. They was like, hey, because I wasn't there scared to death. You know how dudes come home from jail? I be trying to wonder that I did all this time in jail. I be like, what program was you on that you wasn't scared in jail, that you was just so tough? Because I was scared to death. Soon as that judge gave me them numbers and they, you had your thing together. About nothing, you know what I mean? Say my little words back and forth. You see it's back and forth wordplay I had with the judge. And then, I'm gonna be back. Walked in the joint. You know what I mean? Now you got to do the walk back in because now you're going back into the cages where everybody looking at you when you come down. What they give you with it? About nothing, man. They gave me a little 20s, man. That's enough. By the time I get to my cell later on night, I throw that towel up, crying like a baby, man, for a newborn.
Damn.
And then once the shackles hit, you box like an animal. The shackles going from your arm to your feet. You get upstate, you hit that penitentiary yard, and you like, where my mom at? I didn't know it was like this. I'm seeing people with knives longer than the giraffe trunk.
How old are you?
I went to the penitentiary when I was 17, but I hit the big prison yard when I turned 18. I was in Dallas Penitentiary in Pennsylvania. And that was a different type of job, man. I'm seeing people get married in the yard and all that. I'm like, I ain't trying to be nobody's wife. I ain't signing up for this. So I know straight up. I'm looking like
he said married in the yard.
No, people was getting married in the yard, and I said, damn, man.
Was it real weddings though?
No, it was real weddings. Like, it wasn't no like if you got the Bible and you got somebody that's officiating, it's
you
real.
were the same thing. Like you were just in the yard.
No, I was walking the yard and I walked back.
Like,
I was
like a guest at the
No, I was not. I wasn't no guest. I was in the backdrop because I was walking in the yard. So I'm like, I'm sitting there and I'm like, I ain't trying to get married in the yard, man. Damn. And then I'm seeing people getting stabbed and all. I'm like, yo, I'm not trying to. So I would go to my cell and be like, yo, what the going on? I ain't signed up for this. Because nobody tell you this because only stories that we hear back in the hood about jail is that you come home and you get rewarded and you get acknowledged and you tough and all this other shit. You get muscles. But I'm like, damn, ain't nobody talking about the scary part. So I had to be the one to tell the scary part, to tell the real part because I was scared. Especially, listen, so I get up to the penitentiary. It's shower time. I go down there. I got my boxers on and all that. So I'm like, damn, we go down there. And this is my first time in a real, because I went to the penitentiary when a lot of younger dudes started to go. Like, you was getting certified as adult. They created new law. So a long time, it wasn't no young boys in the one penitentiary. I went to Dallas Penitentiary. It's mostly old heads. And they had the most lifers in the state of Pennsylvania at this time. So you could be in a cell with anybody. You could do 1 year be in a cell with a lifer. It don't matter. So I go to the shower. So I got my towel on, my boxers on. And when I went to the shower, right, I go down there steamed up and everything. The shower is probably maybe 15 shower heads, and the block got 100 and something dudes on there.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go in the shower room, it was like a movie. Like everybody looked at me like, why you got them boxers on? Everybody, I'm talking about it was a sword show in that joint, man.
You want to see what you working with?
No, I'm just like, no, it's like, that's not normal. Like you,
yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? That day I realized that a shower wasn't important than a bird bath. I said I could go back to my cell and just wash up there.
Yeah,
why would I need? Why do a shower really mean that?
Yeah. So you ain't take a shower the whole time? You just bird bath the whole way?
No, I took it for a while till I just went down there and just had my shorts on. Cause I was like, damn man, like why everybody gotta be naked in this joint, man? And then they looking at you and then they talking like they be asking nigga, they talking. Yeah, you see the game? Oh man, what's the name? Went off Emmitt Smith. I'm like, damn.
Oh man.
Like we ain't supposed y'all supposed to be doing this. I don't know.
When did you get like comfortable with it? Like your first naked shower? Were you talking?
No, I never got a naked shower.
You had
I didn't take
20 years Wallo. Cut it out.
Oh yeah, I did. Hold up. Let me just say this. Can I say this? Can I say it? But I got one. No, I got one when I got to the jail where you get your own booth.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to be a part of it because it's like a volunteer, like you volunteering something.
How long it took to do that?
Oh, years. It took years, but different part of the jail got different sections where you get a single shower. So in that jail was joints where you had the single shower locked in. Mm-hmm. But it was like, man, I always feel like that was the volunteering services.
Yeah.
Like you was giving invitations to something. So I didn't know.
All right, we got more with Wallo when we come back. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa is filling in for Jess. And we're still kicking it with Wallo. Now, I got a question. Mm-hmm. When did you realize this is what you wanted to do? When you came home and you said you took that drive and you went back you had the McDonald's with the grandma's house. When did you realize this is what you wanted to do and how you wanted to change for the next generation?
I was in shout out to the Lifers, these Lifer brothers, this organization, NAACP and all that. The brothers that was in the penitentiary with me, the elders. There's an organization called Real Street Talk. So I'm in there, and one of the OGs, Brother Minister Rob, shout out to him. He come to me, he said, Wallo, we need you to come down here and talk. It was a bunch of brothers, Shakur, Sharif, it was Ike, a Big Shannon. It was a bunch of brothers that was getting together to talk to the 200-300 inmates a week that was coming in to talk to them about, listen, while you in jail, use this as your time to educate yourself so you go back out there and make something happen with yourself. And it was called Real Street Talk. So I was one of the dudes that spoke in a way to where as though they really understood what I was saying, because I was like one of the youngest dudes, even though the OGs spoke too. And I seen that they was listening, they was tapped into it. And it was a brother Rob Griffin. He used to do security for Malcolm X and the Nation of Islam back in the day. And he came to my cell one day and he was like, brother, not too many brothers out here speak where as though multiple generations could listen and understand it. And then like you speak clear. Mm-hmm. Keep doing that. So when I got out, I just started grab that phone and just start popping it because nobody was doing it, and I knew that I had to do it in a unique way because I was battling on the timeline. I was battling for attention. Right. You know, when you go down the timeline, I'm looking at. I say, okay, I got to battle the girl that's ass naked. I got to battle my man with a pound of jury on. I got to battle the rapper, the athlete. I said, I got him. That's why if you seen a lot of my videos in the beginning, I'll be running across the highway 18, will it come laying on the ground, catch him on my head. They laughing, but I'm giving you the message. Mm-hmm. As long as you listening. Because what everybody was afraid to tell us, like, yo, you can be great. You amazing. Like, we built pyramids with no cranes. I don't know what. I'm reading it in the gym. Like, hold on, we did that? You mean to tell me we came up out of slavery? This little lady got us about a slavery, sister got us about a slavery? And that ingenuity, what the f is going on? Frederick Douglass was who? He did what? I realized this. If you can make them laugh, you can make them listen. I always loved comedy because I used to listen to Paul Moody, Richard Pryor, all of my uncle would play the records, Red Fox, and I'd be laughing, but they'd be saying some deep and they lace it up. So I'm like, okay, I just got to give it to our people in a different way because I just couldn't get the whole Harriet Tubman thing just had me just like, yo, it's nothing you can't do. So I just be looking like, no, it's just a different way and a different language of doing it. And one thing that I'm always do, you'll never hear me talk down or hate any of our people. You know why?
Never.
All of our people, they might have a different message, and no matter what you're doing, business, this, that, I don't care what you're doing. We don't have to be doing the same thing. And just because we ain't doing the same thing, even if we might be doing something that's similar, we ain't got to be mad at each other. I ain't got to hate you, you ain't got to hate me. Because at the end of the day, is this really about the upliftment of our people? If it is, how can I go online and say anything bad about our people if I really care about our people? Right. I can't tear you down to lift them up. Mathematically, it don't work. So what I do is, no matter if you say something about me, say something about me, I'm never going to say nothing about nobody because that's not going to add value to the whole plan of us.
That's Wallo really like this.
Like,
too.
I'm not going to do that.
Even off camera, he's like, but you the generational curse breaker, Wallo. That's why that's why I'm so glad you put out a book, man, because I need to see you on every platform having these conversations. I want to see you on The View. I want to see you on Tamron Hall show. I want to see
you know what? You know what's crazy, though? And this is why our Breakfast Club is a major platform for our culture and will always be. You get it when it's not cool. You get it before it go popular. You get it before it goes shiny. You get it and understand that. A lot of these people don't give about that. Even though you name platforms, they don't care about that. They just want some shiny shit. Right. Now, Wallo come out of prison. I'm probably one of the greatest comebacks ever to come out of prison in life. But they not going to get that to New York Times bestseller hit, all that stuff. They don't understand us. And we control cool, but a lot of times we don't own it. So they try to get a close proximity to our coolness. And we so much suckers, we don't be understanding that. We don't even know why when we being used out here. That's why there's a lot of shit that I see online. I be like, damn, we goofy as shit, man. Can't nobody outside of us validate us but us. I'm never going to let nobody tell me that you not cool, that you outside our culture. And I'm never going to let nobody give approval of what's cool and what's not outside of our culture of this blackness. I love being black. I'm a die black. That's right. My family is black. I look at us and I say we some extraordinary people, and it's not taking that enough from any other group of people. But everybody else love themselves, so I'ma love me. And you know, and I got some extraordinary people that's not black, that's family, that's business. But at the end of the day, until we start loving us on all levels, we gonna be left behind.
What do you think about when Michael Rubin was up here and said pretty much the same thing that you just said right now?
Wallo did not say that.
No, but he just said we hurt ourselves.
Wallo didn't say nothing.
No, he basically said our community hurts ourselves. That's what he's been saying.
Let me say this though. Everything is about the messaging, because I can't speak on behalf of different races. I can't do that because they're gonna be like, "What is you, Wallo?" So that's normal. But one thing that I can say is that everybody is speculating. Everybody's around. On that day that Meek was in that courtroom, I was in that courtroom to come to speak for Meek. Michael Rubin was in that courtroom. And when we took that break after the judge was roughing Meek up, I'm talking about she was roughing Meek up. We went outside to the hallway and Mike looked at us and said, "What's going on in here?" Like, this guy was really shocked. I'm like, this is being black in America. He was like, what the f-? I'm talking about he was personally pissed because he didn't understand that to be going, because a lot of people just don't know.
He said he didn't realize it was two Americans until that case.
Listen, that day he looked at, and then he attempted to walk back in the courtroom after we had the conversation, and she slapped him around, and he like, what the f-? Like, because he stood up and spoke, and stood up, and she was like, yeah, all right, writing in the paper, like, he went and done something. I respect Mike for that. People gonna have their opinions on people, but I'm talking about when I see a good person, I salute a good person. That's it. I ain't with all that other, because I'm gonna tell you something, man. To be real with you, I got a lot of people that's not black that help out of me. Because people that really believe that, and I ain't talking about business, I'm talking about in life. People that love you. It's not always gonna be a color thing. And I know we fight so much to get us together. But at the end of the day, while you spend your time on this planet, you better love who love you, and you better figure out who love you and who got your back. Because I'm going to tell you something. I don't know what everybody else doing out here, but I'm 45, and I'm saying to myself, hopefully I get another 45 out here, because my grandma 90, so I'm measuring it by that. My uncle James, rest in peace of him, he died. He was 93 or 94, but we got a nice length in our joint.
Pause.
Oh, was that a pause, Cam? I got to run that by Cam because I'm talking about the length of years. I'm not saying, but all right, pause.
Yeah.
Cam was definitely a pause.
Yeah, I got to pause. Yeah, but no, that's cool. But what I'm saying is, well, you was a pause champion though. You got the award of the history. You in the Guinness. But I'm gonna say this though. I'm looking at it like I'm 45 now. There's a big chance I'm getting out of this joint one day. I can't worry about. I'm gonna be going. I gotta go. I gotta go. Yeah. And when I go, my whole thing, I want to be able to say I left that shit on the planet. That's why I live the life that I live. I do me. If I want to buy something, I buy it. If I want to go somewhere, I'm going to go somewhere. I'm not living my life based off of some fear shit. Because guess what? You know how many motherfuckers in the graveyard sitting there mad as shit, like, damn, I should have got this. Damn, I should have went here. Damn, I should have done this. We don't do enough. We don't live enough. We don't put more positive energy out enough. Because I'm saying to myself, damn, I got a lot of shit to make up on. Because I know, when I see God, I don't want it to be like that. And I tell you, because God get funky with people. You know what I mean? I don't want to be the one who be like, you had plenty of time. You know where you got to go. At the end of the day, I just try to put the best energy possible out there to our people to let them know, listen, man, we ain't got time. We ain't going to be here forever. Love each other. Do what you got to do and keep it moving. But one day you got to get up out of here.
All right, we got more with Wallo when we come back. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Lauren LaRosa is filling in for Jess. We're still kicking it with Wallo. His book, On With Good Intentions, is out right now. Charlamagne?
One thing I wanted you to talk about before we leave, you said the feeling of not being punished for doing something you knew was wrong was equivalent to your first orgasm. How long did it take for you to actually feel guilt when you did something wrong?
Man, it took me a while because you're young and you just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So it take you a while, and then when it hit, you just be like, damn, I did some crazy. Mm-hmm. But it was a while. It was just a thirst. It was just, I don't know. I think I was just part of stealing the American dream. I was doing my thing because I wanted to be. You understand? I'm looking at these movies, man. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at Ray Liotta and my Goodfellas, and you know the part where he burning the cars up, he throwing the joint. He said by the time I was 14, I was making more money than the grown-ups around my neighborhood. I'm like, damn, I wanted to be that. I wanted some money. Mm-hmm. Because we gonna be obvious. I always tell people this. When that guy in the 80s pull up with that Benz, and you know what I'm talking about. He got the Benz in the 80s. He got that gold chain on. He got that Fila sweatsuit on with them Filas. He got them rings on, them nugget rings and all that shit. And he pull up to the neighborhood. He's pulling up to our black communities to deal with the most beautifulest girl in our neighborhood. And when he pull up to get her, as he opening the car door and she get in the car door, you know who's speaking to him? Miss Johnson, Miss Brown, Miss Green. They go, hey, baby. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you seeing Mr. John come back from work. He's a plumber, all dirty, and nobody speaking to him. I'm sitting on the step watching all it take place. So I said, damn, I got to be a part of this. Mm-hmm. In the black community, the women dictate who the man want to grow up to be based off of who they date.
That's real.
So I'm looking at it like, I'm only seeing these girls, they dealers and dudes that got nice cars. Mm-hmm. I got to get me some nice cars to get me some ass. Mm-hmm. I got to get some jewelry. I got to get fly. That's what it was about.
And the way you saw to get fly was
that's the only people I see to respect. Yeah. They only respected the criminals in the game.
Right. Money and violence.
Listen, you go ask any judges, lawyers, prosecutors, and all that. What's your favorite movies? Godfathers. What's your favorite series? The Sopranos. Everything gonna be, they love the successful criminal, so I grew up to try to be that. Mm-hmm. But as I grew older, I took responsibility to say, oh yeah, I'm on some I did wrong. You never heard me say it was, no, I wasn't in jail for some that magically did or because of the white man. I was in jail because I wanted to get busy. Mm-hmm. And I did what I did.
To your point about women shaping everything, you talk a lot about black women and Latino women and how you staff your team with women. Can you talk like why that's important and how that's helped you along your journey as you like build
Shout out to my manager, business partner Desiree Ivy. Shout out to Anne-Marie. Shout out to Cheyenne Lawson, my attorney. These women, let me explain something to you about these women. They get done.
That's right.
They not playing games.
At all.
I don't know what it is about no that get them going crazy. They lose their mind about no. I'll be like, damn, what happened? Somebody told me no today. What? What's going on? Don't worry about it. Mind your business. I'll get to the bottom. I'll tell you when I get it done. Mm-hmm. They move different. And you know what's going on? I just want to say this. And a lot of these companies in America, they be playing games. And a lot of times people don't see them because they be in the shadows. But when it comes to our culture, black women run that.
Absolutely.
I'm talking about from not just from the consumer side, not just from the marketing side, but from the boardrooms. The sisters. I went to the boardroom of Rich Kleinman Company with sisters running that. Sisters running everywhere.
That's right.
Like, I don't think you're gonna get something off if you ain't got no sisters in that fold.
Every single entity I got, a black woman runs it.
Shout out to all the Dolly's a monster. She's no joke.
Nicole.
Shout out to all the sisters out there that's doing it, going up against all the bull, all the racism in these companies. Y'all going to HR. HR is playing games with y'all. They trying to weed y'all out because soon as a sister get up and she stand up for herself, oh, she's being everybody play victim. Soon as the sister speak up for herself, these people be in these corporations throwing all these rocks. And as soon as the sister say, oh, I'm not going for that. Oh my God, she's being aggressive. Oh my God, I'm scared. Lock the door. Get that. That's cap. Because the sister stepped up for herself. One thing about a black woman, I don't care who she's not dealing with no bull. Why you think we scared of her?
That's right.
But I just want to shout out to everybody out there that's doing anything. And I need to say this to you. I don't care if you got a water ice stand, you got a t-shirt company, you got a putting the tape out, music, you doing art. You one yes away from your world changing. Stop looking on Instagram and thinking everybody's beating you and you running late and you ain't enough. And I want to say something to the sisters out there. You are enough. Don't never let nobody finesse you and tell you that you got to be this and you got to have this, you got to wear this, you got to go here, you got to live your life. Do you in every way possible. And to them young brothers out there, y'all kings, y'all ain't slaves. What y'all got to do is, y'all got to understand, y'all the most fearless group of young men ever on the history of life. This generation right now,
that's right,
is the most fearless black men ever. Y'all do not give a just imagine if y'all switch that up. Right. Imagine what you could do when you say, you know what? I don't want to be a drug dealer. I want to be a businessman. I don't want to be a killer. I want to be a healer. I want to be a giver. I'm saying it could change. And to my young brothers in the rap community, stay away from them drugs.
Man.
And this coming from a man that never did a drug a day in his life. I never did it because I had to watch my homies. I had to make sure they get home at night. And my homies smoked, they didn't smoke PCP, did all that type of shit. To snort a little coke, did a little bit of but I always watched and I said, that ain't for me. And I don't know who told you this. If you feel as though you're going through somebody, find somebody to talk to, get a therapist.
Go to therapy, man.
Get a therapist. Stop trying to self-medicate yourself because you don't know what you're doing. And I'm going to tell you something, brothers. When you hit a town, you young brothers, and I'm going to be real with you, everybody is trying their way to get some drugs to you and you don't know if everybody drugs is drugs. I'm just being straight up. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm just saying you got all these people making fake this. You don't know what you're taking. And when you get that money, young brothers, stay off them handcuffs, man. Please, man, don't disrespect your blessing, because God ain't gonna keep blessing you, man. You think God got to work with billions of people. You think God gonna just keep coming around blessing you? God ain't gonna keep blessing you. Take advantage of these blessings. Keep doing your thing, and just know anytime you see Unc stop me, I'm gonna say something to you. I'm gonna tell you what's going on. And a lot of y'all know I reach out, I DM y'all, I talk to y'all regular. Man, just know that you kings, know that you queens, and know that the world is waiting for all of us.
Listen, Armed with Good Intentions is out now, man. Everybody go pick this book up from Wallo. We got to make this a New York Times bestseller.
Yes, you see it.
Tonight, we're going to be at Uncle Bobby's in Philadelphia.
Yes.
Me and my man Wallo having more conversations.
You're going to be
about
Uncle
this.
Bobby's.
Yes, about this book, Armed with Good Intentions, man.
Make sure we get you stopped at my man's spot. Make sure they give you them cheesesteaks. You like them taste cheesesteaks.
I had some joints up there when I was there last time.
You was hungry too, the way you ate them. Damn, what are you hungry?
The spot where they got like the salmon.
Yes. Taste cheesesteak.
Taste, salute to Taste. Yeah,
all
that
type of oxtail cheesesteaks and all that. You was going crazy.
Nah, I like that type of stuff.
Yeah, but find your way to support local businesses.
That's right.
We gotta make Wallo a New York Times bestseller.
That's what's gonna happen. Come on, let's do it.
I can't wait to see Wallo on Tamron and
all that stuff. All them jobs. But hold up, we gotta also, if you out there, if you have any hair coloring companies, DJ Envy is looking for a sponsor.
Wallo, ladies and gentlemen.
He like to dye his eyebrows and all that. Get him a sponsor.
Ladies and gentlemen. Goodbye, Wallo. All with Good Intentions is out right now. Pick it up. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
I never heard of donkey the other day. What is it? I'm a donkey. Say it again, Charlamagne. I'm a donkey.
Yes, you are a donkey.
I'll show you how to act a donkey. Everything that Charlamagne is saying is true.
Yes, donkey today goes to Reginald Reynolds and Mia Bagenstos. I'm sure I pronounced that name wrong, but we can call her Mia Bagendope. They are 35 and 37 years old, respectfully. They are from Portland, Oregon. And I don't know why, when I saw this story today, I thought to myself, either I'm experiencing deja vu or I've done this story before, but I figured out the issue. The issue is there's this bag that people buy, and the bag says things about drugs on it. In this particular case, Reginald and Mia had a bag that said, definitely not a bag full of drugs. That's what it said on the bag. Definitely not a bag full of drugs. Now, if I was a police officer or any type of law enforcement and there was a bag in your car that said definitely not a bag full of drugs, guess what bag I'm going to probably search first? Now, granted, I wouldn't actually believe someone is stupid enough to have a bag full of drugs in a bag, labeled bag full of drugs, but this is Earth. Okay, 2024. Whatever level of stupidity your brain can conceive, there is a donkey on this planet who can achieve. Let's go to ABC 10 for the report, please.
Tonight, we're looking into a story that seems hard to believe. It claims a couple was arrested after officers found drugs in a bag that had definitely not a bag full of drugs printed on it. And folks, this one is true. The Portland Police Bureau in Oregon, look at this, posted this picture on social media. They say they discovered the bag along with cash, a gun, and scales during a traffic stop Tuesday. Inside the bag, you guessed it, they found more than 10 grams of fentanyl and meth. Yeah, the couple was booked on drug charges along with unauthorized use of a vehicle and possession of a stolen vehicle.
See, some of these donkeys be layered. Why would you be riding dirty in a stolen car? Can you please commit to one crime at a time? Do you simultaneously have to be committing multiple felony offenses? And if you're going to be in a stolen car where the Ford Taurus's ignition has been visibly tampered with, why would you have baggies of drugs just visible in a stolen car? Not to mention, you got this big brown canvas bag labeled definitely not a bag full of drugs. And in that bag was 79 blue fentanyl pills, 3 fake.
What?
It's like your mouth waters just now.
You heard this?
No. I said, like, that's crazy.
The hell
For you to
doing
have
in Delaware?
Don't.
3 fake oxycodone tablets and 230 grams of meth. Not to mention a loaded 38. I know I wrote a book called Get Honest or Die Lying, but damn. Okay, Reginald and Mia, they probably was telling the officers, like, look, officer, we're just practicing radical honesty. You know, transparency in crime is a new movement. And that officer was like, thank you for making my job easier. By the way, this transparency in crime movement still comes with 15 years to life. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking is Oregon. Aren't drugs legal in Oregon? Well, in 2020, Oregon decriminalized the possession of small amounts of hard drugs in an effort to redirect city funding from criminalization and toward treatment of substance use disorders. The measure passed with high levels of public support that faltered as overdose and homelessness rates rose in the state during the COVID-19 pandemic when Rihanna makeup became widely available. But in September, the state recriminalized drug possession. So the moral of the story is all of this was illegal. Okay, there is absolutely no right way to do the wrong thing, even in Oregon. And everything Reginald and Mia did was completely wrong. Okay, Reginald and Mia might be the first criminals in the history of crime who actually labeled the evidence for the police. And I know they thought labeling it not a bag full of drugs would throw people off. Like there is no way folks would think they were that dumb. But it's not about what we think. It's about what you know about yourself, Reginald and Mia. Okay? You had to know that you are indeed that dumb. Okay? Please give Reginald Reynolds and Mia Bagenstos the sweet sounds of the Hamiltons.
You are the donkey of the day. You are the donkey of the day. Yeehaw.
That is ridiculous.
I have a question.
That's like Lauren wearing a t-shirt that says definitely not single. What'd you say?
Or like you wearing a t-shirt saying definitely healed because
it's a journey.
Oh, is it?
It's a process.
Yeah, so is mine.
Okay, girls. What is your question,
I be
Lauren?
feeling like we Nene and Portia, and guess who's Nene?
I'd love to be Portia. Drop on the clues bar for Portia.
you just helped them out.
Thank you very much.
You just helped them out.
That is absolutely my
Portia's
favorite
my girl,
housewife.
but everybody knows that the real cat, like the comebacks, is Nene.
With Portia, I
it's
love
the house
Portia.
that Nene Leaks built. But anyway, my
Yes.
question before I was rudely interrupted.
Yes, ma'am.
Is this not entrapment though?
Why is it
Because
entrapment?
why would you be allowed to sell a bag that says definitely not drugs, knowing that someone might put drugs in it because they think it's like funny or something?
Because there's this thing called satire, and so whoever made that bag was just making it probably just to be funny, and they knew that people would walk around with the bug as just like up the bag as like a fashion statement, but they didn't think they'd actually put drugs inside of it.
You got a Birkin. What does it say on your Birkin?
Not
fake.
Yeah, you fake like this Birkin. Shout out to Sonic Saturdays. You fake like this Birkin. But
I hate this place.
that has nothing.
I hate this place.
That was shade.
It wasn't
That
shade.
was a whole tree.
Who?
You over there planting today, baby.
I didn't even do anything.
Feet in the soil.
All right, guys.
All right,
gals.
Don't worry.
Gals.
I got the new bob and I got I'm ready.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
My guy.
He's an author, New York Times best-selling author. He's an entrepreneur. He is a podcast host, and now he is a model as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Shetty.
A model. By the way, Jay Shetty's more than a podcast host. He has one of the top 10 biggest podcasts in the world.
That's right.
Okay? I think that's very important to note because everybody got a podcast. That's right. Okay? Jay Shetty has one of the top 10 biggest podcasts in the world. What is it, number 5, I think?
I think so. That's on Spotify. I think that's what it came out as. But no, thank you for having me, guys. I love being here with you guys. I'm so grateful to be back with you. Congrats on the new studio.
Thank you.
I know it's not new for your viewers, but it's new for me being in here with you. But
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
You just sat down with First Lady Michelle Obama. Conversation was everywhere, right? And she expressed how terrified she was about this election year. What was it like hearing that from her? And how do you process that? Does that give you anxiety when you hear that?
Yeah, it's an interesting thought process because I can't vote in this country. I moved here 8 years ago. I have a green card, but I don't have voting rights. And I moved here the year Trump became president in 2016. And so I've had an interesting education in the United States. And I didn't grow up learning American history or American politics. So I'm also very uneducated in that space specifically. I think for me, I look at most things as things I can and can't control. And when I think about things that make me anxious on a global scale, I often ask myself, what is the root of that anxiety in my community? So if I'm seeing whether it's ignorance, whether it's a lack of understanding, whether it's a lack of curiosity, openness, compassion on a global scale, I'm asking myself, where does that exist within me and my friends and my society, and how do I start impacting that? Because that I can control. And so I've been practicing that for a long time because I feel that there's a lot of things that give me anxiety. Like, there's a lot of things that can stress me out. There's something new in the news every day that can do that.
That's right.
So to me, I try and bring down global events into the personal and intimate, because otherwise it's so chaotic and so hard to deal with.
How many times how often have you broken your own 8 rules of love?
Oh, every day. Every day, man. Like, every day. I don't think it's, it goes back to that. How can I heal someone? I'm still healing myself. And it goes to the reality of, and I think we all know this at this table, everything in life is a process, right? Like, even if you took something really tangible, like we say this person is rich, we talk about them as if they can never lose it and that will always be theirs. That's actually not true. People could lose all their money. We talk about someone being famous. You could lose that. So in the same way, healing, progress, development, you can lose it. And I think we've got so lost in that destination addiction, the belief that you get to a point from which there is no return. And I think that destination addiction is really misleading in the wellness space, because we feel like, oh, now I'm healed. And I think it comes from this idea of, if you think about it, right, social media is full of before and after pictures. This is where I used to be, look at where I am now, right? And it's always like saying, I used to be in a bad place, now I'm in a great place.
No process, though.
No process and linear, when the real life is this every day.
That's right.
It's just cyclical. And I think we've made our minds feel that journeys are linear. It's like A to B, like going from LA to New York or New York to LA. It's linear, but we know that life is so much more cyclical. And so, yes, I've broken the 8 rules of love every day, every week of my life.
One of the things you said, man, that I think is so important that I want people to really get from this, if they don't get nothing else from this conversation, is there's no manual for any of this. So you're not going to be the perfect husband. You're not going to be the perfect father. I spend so much time simply apologizing to my wife and apologizing to my kids because I don't ever want them to think that I'm trying to come off as some perfect human who never gets anything wrong, right? And I think that's very important to do, and just being present. Like when your wife calls you, your child calls you, even if you in that moment you weren't present. As soon as I'm done whatever I'm doing, I'm so sorry that I had to do that, but I had to go do X, Y, and Z in that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the thing about the point you just made, and I hope this is what someone takes away from this as well, is I think a lot of us in our minds, when we do introspect, we're quite heavy and harsh on ourselves. I think a lot of people are walking around with a internal inner critical voice that is completely making them feel terrible. And so when anyone says something externally, it's worse. And I just want to remind people that you can't hate yourself into change. Like, you can't guilt yourself into growth. You can't blame yourself into a breakthrough. When was the last time you changed who you were because someone hated you? Never. When was the last time you supported someone you hate deeply? So if you're hating, blaming, guilting yourself, it may get you started, but it won't get you there. And so anyone who's giving themselves a hard time, I'm not saying to give yourself an easy time, but that inner grace, that inner forgiveness is such an important part of you actually becoming better. So you're not doing it because you're trying to take it easy on yourself. You're doing it because it's going to let you get through the hard times.
The most important thing, I think, for a lot of people is back to what you said with forgiveness and grace, right? A lot of things that we do is learned behavior, right? Why do people pop their children? Usually because they got popped as a child. A lot of the things that we learned and we were taught were f***ed up.
Yeah. There's that famous quote you just reminded me of that says, by the time you realize that your parents are right, your kids are telling you that you're wrong. And it's that awkward position that we end up in. But you know what's really interesting about that? I was talking to someone about this at dinner last night, and there's this old story that I heard a while ago, and it's always resonated with me, even with my own childhood, not in particular, but in essence. So the story goes that these 2 men were interviewed, and one was an alcoholic and the other one had never drunk alcohol, and they were brothers. And they interviewed them, and then they asked the one who drank alcohol and was an alcoholic, he said, "Why are you an alcoholic?" He said, "My dad was an alcoholic." And then they asked the other brother, "Why don't you drink?" And he said, "My dad was an alcoholic." And so I think a lot of us got an education in what not to do, but we ended up repeating it instead of breaking the cycle. And I feel like in my life, I got a great education in a lot of my areas of life in what not to do and who not to be. Right. And I took all those little notes down, and I think that's what's improved my life. So I think if we're constantly waiting for the perfect example and the perfect space and the perfect surroundings and the perfect aunt and uncle and the perfect parent. It's like, we may be waiting forever because no one's perfect. Right. So we almost have to make a list of what not to do, but what not to do.
But also how to. That's why podcasts like On Purpose is so important. That's why podcasts like, Debbie Brown, Deeply Well is so important because we learn how to, break a lot of these cycles.
Absolutely.
All right, we got more with Jay Shetty when we come back. Keep it locked. It's The Breakfast Club. Good morning. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We're still kicking it with Jay Shetty. Charlamagne?
Are you wearing Gap right now?
No. Not right now.
Okay, I'm just asking.
No, because you saw that.
Yeah, I saw the Gap campaign.
Yeah. That's why I called you a model earlier. You did the Gap.
Oh, that's why. That's what I was wondering. I was like, yeah.
What, you thought you was handsome?
That was a lot. Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, all right, DJ MV, there's all right. I wasn't expecting that from you, but thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No, you and your wife did a holiday Gap campaign.
Yeah. We were just, when we got asked to do that, it was like, we couldn't believe it. We're like, what is this? Like, we grew up watching the Gap campaigns, like the holiday campaigns especially. And I've said to my wife, any time I get to do any work with her is my favorite thing because I get to hang with her all day. And so that shoot was fun. They made it fun. The creative team was fantastic. Like, it was a good time. We walked out of there having had a great day. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then it was surreal because, definitely never been a model. So I appreciate that.
I wanted to ask you too, do you get pushback from people who will watch you sit down with a Michelle Obama or a Jada Pinkett Smith? Well, why didn't you challenge them on this? Why didn't you challenge them on that?
Yeah, I don't get pushback for not challenging people because I think the questions I ask are challenging in a different way. But I think I'll get pushback because someone doesn't like that person.
Yeah.
But what I've found every single time is that when someone actually listens to the episode or watches it on YouTube, if you look at that comment section, it is spectacular. Like, when someone's actually taken out time out of the day to listen for an hour or watch for an hour, and then you see the comment section, you'll see people having I had people reaching out about both those episodes, the President Biden interview as well that we did earlier last year, and the comments of people who actually listened to it. And by the way, a lot of people were like, hey, I don't agree with this person's politics. I'm actually completely on the other side. But I just want you to know that listening to this interview was so enlightening from a human perspective. Thank you for putting it out there. And I respect that approach because I think that's why I do the interview. I don't do the interview for any other reason apart from us looking at the broken mirror and looking back and saying, okay, where can I resonate with the humanity of this individual, or where can I relate to this person? So yeah, I think that's generally the pushback. But the comment section, I encourage you on those episodes to go look at the YouTube comment section. It's phenomenal to read what people are getting.
Yeah, because I think your conversation with Jada Pinkett Smith, the clips is what set off the Jada Pinkett hate train. Not because of you, you know what I mean? But if you didn't watch the whole conversation in context and you just saw clips, she got attacked.
And Jada's a dear friend for me, so it's a tough one because I think any clip about anyone. I had someone say this to me yesterday. They said to me, Jay, they'd met me for the first time, and they were like, Jay, you're so much nicer in person. I didn't like you off of your Instagram. And I was like, fair enough, like, that's cool, but it's so hard for me to be all of myself in 30 seconds. And I'm trying my best. You're trying your best. You're trying your best. But it's hard for any of us.
Like, what is there not to like about you on Instagram? You're in the kitchen with your wife.
No.
You got puppies licking your face.
No, in the sense of, I think he was just like, I feel like you feel a bit like, whatever it was, like whatever I don't even know what it was, but I think all of us, if you judged any of us off a 30-second reel, I'm sure all of us would agree it's not who we are, So, and that's why I do stuff with my wife, because I feel I'm most myself when I'm with my wife, because naturally it's the person I spend the most time with. And so, but even with all of us, like, I've got to meet you guys in person a few times now. We were in Cannes with iHeart on for the festival last year together, and I think when you've met people in person, that's the only time you're going to feel like you've got to know them. I don't think anyone I feel like if someone follows me on Instagram, they understand maybe 10% of who I am. If they listen to my podcast, they probably understand 75% of who I am, because they're really dialing into who I am. If they've read my books and my podcast, they're probably like at that 89%. If they've seen me live, they're at that 95%. And then when someone's met me in person, it's 100%. And so I think it's all percentages. And I hope that we all, again, going back to forgiveness and grace, I hope that we can all give each other a bit more benefit of the doubt, because I think it would go a long way for people.
You say language has created the word loneliness to express the pain of being alone. And it has created the word solitude to express the glory of being alone. Could you expound on that?
Yeah, it's a Paul Tillich quote. The writer Paul Tillich shared that. And to me, I extrapolated from his work for my book because I was realizing that language and the way we use words completely defines how we think about things. So when you hear the word loneliness, you think sadness, you think potentially depression, you think negativity.
Of course.
Solitude is spending time alone with yourself, but with strength, with courage, as Paul Tillich says, glory. So what I've realized is we've got to be so careful with the language we use in our minds. Every single word is a seed for either a weed or a flower.
That's right.
And so every single word that you say is defining. So if I keep saying, I'm lonely, I'm lonely, I'm lonely, that's going to impact how I feel. But if I say I'm in solitude, all of a sudden there's a strength that comes with that. And so I just want to encourage people to recognize that being alone doesn't have to be a weakness. It can be a time of strength and self-awareness and personal growth. But it is about the language that we use with ourselves. And so I would ask everyone to, this one activity, think about the one word that comes to your mind the moment you wake up or the moment you go to sleep. Make that word a word that you want it to be. Don't let the word you go to sleep with and don't let the word you wake up with be a word that makes you feel negative, unhealthy, or weak. Because those studies show we have 60 to 80,000 thoughts per day. And 80% of them are negative and 80% of them are repetitive, which means you're having the same negative word or thought repeating. It's not like we're having lots of different thoughts. It's the same thought. Now, you can't control 60 to 80,000 thoughts, but you can control 2 thoughts of the day. So just master the first thought of the day and the last thought of the day and make it a thought and a word that you want it to be.
I wonder when that study was done. I wonder, was it before social media or after? Because I feel like with social media, it's probably triple that.
Yeah, I probably read it. That stat probably I read in the last 3 to 4 years. So I guess while social media is around, but yeah, I mean, now it could have totally tripled. But it's interesting because it's the same thought often.
Yeah.
Right? It's a lot of the time we keep saying the same thing. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. That thought could last a year. Or like, oh God, I'm so scared at work. I'm so anxious. That could last a year. So.
One more thing.
Yeah, man.
Is there anything Jay Shetty hates?
Ooh. The answer is I don't, because I think hate personally, collectively, individually doesn't lead to greatness.
What about The Notebook? You hate The Notebook.
I don't hate The Notebook, but I have thoughts about The Notebook, Charlamagne. I don't hate The Notebook. I find it hilarious as to how many, and I was like, I said I'm a hopeless romantic. I've been like that my whole life because I grew up watching Hollywood movies thinking that that's how I was meant to fall in love. I was that dumb person who fell for that. And now I've read about something that they call Disney Princess Syndrome, where people walk around like feeling like they're going to be saved by their partner. Like you're going to have a knight in shining armor who's going to come in and rescue you. And I think there's Disney Prince Syndrome as well, where we want to go and save someone and we want to be the be all and end all of everything. So The Notebook just has some really questionable lines. So yeah, I don't hate The Notebook.
Well, Jay Shetty, ladies and gentlemen.
Where can they follow you, Jay? Tell them.
Come and check out the podcast On Purpose. It's where I'm pouring my heart and soul and, excited to share so many more amazing, maybe thought-provoking, maybe even pushing you slightly conversations. So come and join us at On Purpose.
And his latest book was 8 Rules of Love. That came out last year. How to find it, keep it, and let it go.
Yes.
You got a new book coming? Or you?
No. I was just excited to be back with you and hanging. And actually, do you know what? Sometimes I love these conversations because I came here not knowing where it was going to go, and then you guys just guided beautifully. So this was wonderful, man. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you, guys.
Well, Jay Shetty, it's The Breakfast Club. Good morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. But leave us on a positive note.
The positive note is this. Maturity is when you know the other person is lying, but you just smile and let it go.
Breakfast Club, bitches! Y'all finished or y'all done?